What would happen if you had unlimited money and complete control over a city? Well, obviously you'd build a utopia. The only problem is, we have 1 million in the bank, 0 people, and an empty map. So before this city can become perfect, it needs to become rich. Today we're starting Loon Lake with exactly one goal: make as much money as possible. And obviously we're gonna start paused, because I don't want to start burning through money before we even have anything built out. The map is called The Whirl, and I did rebuild some of the infrastructure, but the links to the original one will be in the description below. Now I really do want this to be as close to a perfect city as we can get. I really just want to release my inhibitions. So we need to start stacking up some money and some population. So let's work on our main roads first. For the first main road, we're going to extend this arterial all the way down to the contour lines, and that's honestly the beautiful part too. There's lots of variation within the heights, so I know that we can make something pretty cool. Now I can imagine this lower section down here to be a really important waterfront, and because this would have been one of the first areas developed, I'm going to use an alleyway. All I want to do is wrap it around the contours, and we'll stub that off here for now. Now we're going to need a collector, and that collector is just going to wrap around these contour lines. Before I add that in though, I want to build out the grid. And for this grid, I'm going to make it 11 by 20. And ideally, the grid wouldn't be broken already. This is going to make everything so challenging. But you know what, it's fine. I won't even worry about it. Now the reason why I want the grid to be 11 by 20 is because right away, I want to consider bikes and pedestrians. So 11 by 20 gives us 4 on each side and just enough room for this path. Now I'm going to quickly extend this grid out all the way down to the contour line. Now building the starting grid is one of the most important things that you can do for the start of your city, because it shapes and influences everything else. But of course, we don't want a super mega grid. It's going to look boring and just be awful. And a utopia shouldn't be awful. So this is where we're going to add a bit of variation. This road is going to connect into the alleyway to provide access down to our waterfront. But what I also want to do to make things a little bit more interesting is to follow these contour lines. And that means I want to rework the slope here. And that's only because I want this connection to be flat. Now we can start to send this down, and then connect the alleyway back into it. Now this road is going to function as a collector, but before this road can make any sense, we need to fix the super ultra mega grid. So I'm going to use this park as a natural orientation point, so we'll run the 2-lane around it. And now we have these beautiful contour lines to help guide the development. So I'm going to follow along this bottom contour line. And now I want to connect these roads into it. Now we're going to need a few more access points for the park. And that leaves us with this top hilly part right here. I'm going to slingshot a road through here, and we'll follow along this contour line too. And I will extend it past our zoning tile, but that's only to make planning a bit easier. This gives us another pocket of development. So I'm going to use the parallel mode, and with 11 units of separation, I'm going to make a small curved grid here. And if it seems super suburban, it's because it is. But don't worry, this is just the base layout for the city. We are going to need one more connection, but I need this tile. So I am going to add it in, just because it's going to help me plan the grid. I think it's only cheating if the road can be used or zoned. And in this case, none of this can be used or zoned. Now finally, we can pull this down and curve in just like that. And because we have this, now I know exactly what I want to do. I want to chop this section of the grid off, and I want some type of development facing the water. And ideally there's about 1 full circle of setback. Now I'm going to connect the connector. And with that in place, I'm going to extend this road all the way down, because I can imagine that making these connections into the waterfront would have been really important for the start of the city. I'm still really not happy with the variation. A perfect city, or even a utopia, is not a super mega grid. So I'm going to quickly get this fixed, and all I have to do is realign this road. And then build the grid off of this road. That is much, much better. Now, because this is meant to be a collector, and it won't be obvious at first, I'm going to upgrade this entire thing into a 4-lane road. And to make it look nicer, I'm going to add a quay wall on the other side, and just give all of this a nice little love tap. And now finally, all we have to do is connect the last pieces into our grid. Alright, and that should be most of our grid ready to go, because we need to hurry up and get some population in, and we need to start getting XP as soon as possible. So let's quickly get all of our utilities, and if it can fit, we might as well have the transformer station down here. And no, there really isn't a good place over here, which means it's going to exist within this lot. And even though this is a utopia, we're gonna make this ugly. Now let's just get this connected in, and I'm going to delete all the other high voltage lines. Now we're importing power, and at the start of a city, I highly suggest doing this, because for the short term, it is much, much cheaper. Now for water. It doesn't seem like we have any options to import the water, so unfortunately we will have to take care of this ourselves. I'm going to upgrade this alleyway to be a 2-lane. It just makes things a little bit more simple. And now right alongside this shore, I'm going to build an alleyway alongside it. Now we want to pump water here and dump our sewage, unfortunately, over here, which is just awful. For the time being, I'm going to make this extremely simple because I want to stop polluting as soon as possible. Alright, now we have all of our utilities. All we're missing is some services and some zoning. And it looks like I must have accidentally clicked play because we already have a few houses filling in. Before any more fill in, I want to make sure that we have this bike and pedestrian path. And it's going to go in the middle of all of these lots. Now alongside this main road, I want a bunch of commercial, and I'm going to mix this up between Southwestern and Vanilla. And we'll click play and let some of that fill in, and we're currently losing $1,348 every hour. But don't worry, we're going to get this solved really quickly. I'm going to use some of Smiley's assets, and because this is the start of a city, I'm only going to use level 1. And anywhere within this middle section, I'm going to make low density residential. And already we have to stop because we have no low density demand. We only have demand for medium density and industrial. And yeah, that makes sense. The unemployment rate is currently 13.6. Now the air pollution blows this way, which means we want to concentrate all of the industrial within this lot. So first, I want to get this alleyway in. And because industrial generates a lot of traffic, we want to make sure that our connections are good. And these two roads should be perfect because they lead directly into our main arterial and our main connector. Now we're going to need some level 1 industrial buildings. And now unemployment is sitting at 7.9%, which still really isn't all that great. It should definitely get better though, because the majority of these businesses still have a ton of open positions. Now all of this industrial is going to need some parking, so I'm going to quickly build out a few parking lots. The unemployment rate is now at 2.7%, we have 203 people, and we're only losing $343 per hour, which isn't that bad. There is one key thing though that I think this area needs. And no, it's not this texture. A bit of trees, a few places to hang out and eat your lunch. I would have loved for it to be a park, but we don't have those unlocked yet. We still have a bit of industrial demand, and we might as well use it, so let's zone just a bit more here, and a bit more here. And now while that's filling in, let's go back to finishing off the low density residential. Because once we're done this, then we can move on to some medium density residential. And at 272 population, there is no more low density demand. So the next step up is medium density, and all we have unlocked are row homes. There is 2 more problems. We do have a lack of labor, and we have the first person calling for an ambulance, which means it's time to finally add in medical. And the best bang for our buck would be the small medical clinic, and I want this somewhere close to the bike path, and somewhere central enough where the ambulances are going to be able to reach anyone in the city. And right now that's on Pearl Street. So there's our first medical building, and we're already losing $1,100 per hour. And look, we have people walking on the path. It's so nice. Kate Norris. As mayor and god of this city, you are now Chuck Norris. And no, please, you're gonna bankrupt us. So we also need a cemetery. And the cheapest one that we have available to us is the small cemetery. We could add in a crematorium, but I think it's important for the start of this city that's meant to be perfect to have a cemetery. And I'm going to place that directly on our park. And we do have a few upgrades, but we're not even going to touch them yet. And I need to fix whatever this pedestrian problem is. This should be super easy. Okay, maybe not. Oh no, I don't want to delete it. It's going to take our money, but I know that I have to. Oh, come on, what is the problem? What if I just start adding a bunch of random connections? Will that help? Okay, you know what? This cemetery is garbage. I hate it. I hate that one. That's the worst one. So instead, let's have this wooden church. At this point in time, I just want to stop wasting money. And yes, there we go. The first hearse is going out to gather the dead people. And we have low density and medium density demand again. So I'm going to make a small section right here for a bunch of row homes. And this is going to be quick and dirty development style. Just like that, right there, it's perfect. And yes, our population is increasing, we're at 400. Still not profitable though, which means the dream of utopia is still not within our grasp. And because we still have more medium density demand, I'd like to use it. This time I want to use some of Smiley's row homes and do something just a little bit different. I'm going to try and make this development more walkable. So I'm going to bring the pedestrian road as close as I can get to the path, and that looks really, really bad. What if I just clean up some of this jank? We need to unlock advanced road services and get rid of all the crosswalks here, and that actually does the trick. Now the reason why I want to do this is so that we can snap the row homes onto the pedestrian road instead. Just like that right there. And to make this more utopia-like, let's add in some trees right in the middle. And if you want to get really crazy with me, which I know you do, we can parallel this entire road. Let's swap to the pedestrian path, and that one's just slightly too small. But this one isn't. I think that looks really cool. And there we go. Now which one would you rather live in? The one with parking or the one without? And with all of our medium density gone, it is time to fill the rest of this area with low density. And honestly, it's looking really good so far. I did have to expand the industrial district, so I just added these 5 buildings. And that's because our unemployment was around 30%, now it's 18%, which still really isn't that good. I've been trying to reduce the amount of industrial that's going to live here, because I really do see this as something a little bit more than just industrial, and I see the port potentially here, or even down here. But the game really isn't giving me any choice. We do have both low density and medium density demand, but I think we need to level up, because right now we're only a large village. And so to level up, we're going to need an elementary school and a high school. And ideally both of these are going to live closer to the row homes, because this is our densest area. So let's use the Atlas High School, and this only has a capacity for 190 students. But because this is the start of a city, we need to make sure that all of this is profitable. And this high school is like one of the cheapest ones. Now we're also going to need an elementary school, which is why we're going to go with this one. Again, it's just the cheapest one. The teachers and everyone who live here and work here are going to need parking though, and that parking is going to live right here. Because in my ideal world, both the high school and the elementary school should have their own lot, and the students walking around here shouldn't have to worry about traffic. And how close are we to level 4? We really need to start moving through these levels a lot quicker. So we still need about, what, 3,000 XP? I totally forgot we could buy more map tiles. And they're free? Oh, because this doesn't count as a full tile. This is perfect, because I really want to bring trains into the city. We haven't unlocked transit yet though, and we get that with the next milestone. So it looks like we just need a bit more density. And we're going to build another section for just row homes. And actually, we have these townhomes right here. And this asset comes with 4 different pieces. We have the right corner, the left corner, and then we have these middle sections. And I'm going to try to make both of these self-contained. And now we're going to need another road. And I don't want to connect this into our main road. But now we can use this to make another set of development. And then finally, we'll save this area for parking. And really, it breaks the parking. I wonder why. It really shouldn't break the parking. Fine. I will make my own custom parking. Is that really what you want, game? And that is pretty much perfect. It honestly looks kind of chaotic though. There's so much happening, it's hard to keep up with. And currently we're at 2,500 citizens. Absolutely amazing. We're still losing $1,300 per hour. And oh no, we have garbage piling up. And also, when did we hit milestone 4? I didn't even get the notification. We are gonna have to solve the garbage problem, but first I wanna create 3 districts. And apparently it's gonna call itself Park Park. What even is that? I didn't change this. This is what the game generated. It's honestly perfect. But if you have a better name, please feel free to comment it below, because it's not actually perfect. And Hillside Gardens will be the 2nd district. The last and final district will be the Industrial. Fairview Croft. 3 districts, 3 names. Now when garbage piles up, the efficiency of the building goes way down. So right now we're only operating at 53% capacity. But to be honest, it doesn't seem like that's impacting anything. Oh wait, the dropout rate is 100%. Every single student who joins this high school eventually drops out. Thankfully for the elementary school, it's not as bad. It's only 1%. Either way, we can try and solve this garbage problem. So first, we have to keep in mind the air pollution. The waste management is going to exist somewhere around here. And if we buy these 3 tiles, we should be able to make it work, because the landfill is going to exist right here. And truly, I picked an awful spot. The landfill is slightly higher than the rest of the city, so the landfill would look down on the city. It's just so bad. I can't have that. I'm going to do a whole bunch of work here. And now we're going to need a road that connects across, and thankfully, it looks like it's pretty much ready for us. Wait, does this sit outside of our tile? Of course it does, so we'd have to buy this tile too. But I had plans for a train, and there's only a few more tiles left until they start costing money. It's fine, it's fine. We can make it back easily. And now let's get this connected into our highway road. And now let's place the landfill right here. I'm sure I won't regret this. Either way, I'm going to upgrade this road to have lights, and that should carry the power. And then all we need for sewage and water is to make these final connections. And now that this building is functioning, I'm going to quickly extend this out, and I don't want this to be too big. And now all that soil that I got rid of, I'm going to bring it back. And that should help just a little bit. To take this to the extreme, I'm going to waste money that we shouldn't be wasting on a bunch of trees. And now when you're over here in the city, you don't even see the landfill, which is all I care about, because I feel like a utopia would probably cover up and hide some of the ugly. Now we have unlocked office demand, which is amazing. This should make a big dent in our unemployment, but also start to make us a whole bunch of money. So I'm gonna make this entire lot dedicated to office. And no, please don't go away. Please stay here, stay. Okay, rebounding, perfect. The reason why I want more office demand is because we still have this entire road to zone. So let's make a small office park right here. So I want to use the 1-lane angled parking road. I'm going to remove the zoning from our main street, and now we're ready to zone in some office. Oh, you're kidding me, we lost office demand? You know what, that's fine. I can be patient and I can wait. We do have a crime problem, so let's take care of that too. Again, when you're just starting your city, you want to make sure that all of your services are very, very basic. You can improve all of them once you're rich. I'm going to place the police station right over by our office park. And would you look at that? All of a sudden the office spawns. To make this building feel like it lives in its own lot, I'm going to use a path to separate this off and then fill this with parking. And now that the office park is filled in, I'm going to give it a bunch of manicured grass, and I want to make this path connection. And then we're just going to finish it off with a few trees. And that is looking really good. I'm really loving how this is coming along. We're still losing $1,800 per hour though. Unemployment is 1.8%, so we've definitely gotten way better there. And we've also unlocked medium density housing. And of course, we want to use as much of this demand as we can get. As always, I want most of our high and medium density as close to the pedestrian and bike path as possible. So let's get a few of these buildings in. And that right there is all of our medium density demand, which means the only thing we have left is low rent housing. And we do have these Chinese apartment buildings, which I think are going to be a really good fit, and we can even get them closer to our bike path. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want to give each of these a little bit of tilt. And now we still have high density demand, which is amazing. So I'm going to go through and fill out these 3 lots. Alright, that came out really nicely. There is of course a few problems that I've noticed. We have houses burning down, and we don't have any fire coverage. Keep it simple, keep it cheap. We're going to use the Netherlands small fire station, and we might as well keep our noisy uses together. So we'll place that right beside our police station. That should help with the burned down buildings. The second problem, of course, the unemployment is 30%, which is just awful. Right now we're at 4,564 citizens. And after placing the fire station, we're only making $592 per hour. Now to help with unemployment and our budget, I'll zone in a bit of commercial here. And now we're going to do the one thing that I really didn't want to do. That's turn this entire section into an industrial complex. I was trying my hardest to avoid it. So first things first, I'm going to run this alleyway alongside the shore. Now this district has 600 employees, but I want to know, how many is it going to be once we expand all of our industrial over here? Honestly, I don't even know if we're going to have enough demand. So just like I did before, I'm going to place in a bunch of industrial, and I'm also going to add a little bit of parking. Somehow we've only doubled the jobs, even though we've almost tripled the buildings, but our unemployment is at 1.9%, yes, and we have 0 homeless people. We are truly obtaining a real utopia. Well, for a real utopia, we'd need 0% taxes. All services are free, everything is free. We can't afford that though. We are making $8,672 per hour, which is just a solid start. And we're almost at 5,000 population. All of our demand is back. Every single ounce of it. And I want to get the rest of this zoned to see where we end up. Before that, we're going to need some parks. Because right now I haven't added in a single one. And I think what would be really nice is to have somewhere to take a break in the industrial. Probably not the greatest place for parks, but I think the workers are going to appreciate it. And I'm going to have to pretend that someone does park maintenance and cleans all of this up, because that's way too clean for a park in this area. We're going to need a few more basic parks down here. Just a few places to sit down, eat some food, and daydream about being at home. And I don't want to go any crazier than that for the industrial district. For our beautiful residential area, let's start with the school. And we're going to have to unlock some more parks. So let's go large parks, large sports parks, and that should be good enough. Any chance we have enough room? No, we don't. So beside the elementary school, let's get a large playground. And then we're going to need a main city park somewhere. And honestly, we might as well just place it within this actual park. And why do you have problems? What is the issue? Okay, you know what? The park goes over here, which is just as good, if not even better. And we'll make all of this a nice manicured grass. And ideally, we find a way to connect this into our bike path. So we'll make this connection into our park, and then we're going to use the double bicycle lane and just wrap that around here. Now I'm going to quickly meander some trails around, and that's going to be a perfect park. But we're still not fully green yet. So let's add in one playground right here, and a basketball court over here. And I really want to add in the sports hub pavilion, but I know how expensive it is. No, it's not too bad. I need to do it. We need a pavilion. We need somewhere where you can have tons of different activities. Does that get us in the green? It does. Everywhere except for the industrial area. And this makes absolutely no sense, but if my dream is to eventually make this a utopia, then we gotta have at least one tiny little park over here. But I am gonna get rid of the bushes, so now it's only gonna be 4 janky benches and 1 floating garbage can. This should be easy to fix though. Now it's actually kind of reasonable. And what are you doing, sightseeing? I mean, yeah, it's definitely a beautiful sight. Wait, where'd you go? Dexter. Okay, I didn't know we had Dexter in our city. I'm gonna walk away and not make any eye contact. Now show me green everywhere. Perfect. Honestly, I thought the parks would have made things worse, but we're actually making $10,000 per hour. And honestly, if we're making this much money, we might as well add in a post office right by our park. And we'll give it the upgrade. And of course, add in a few mailboxes. We still haven't cracked 5,000 population though, even though everyone is pretty much happy. Although they don't like the noise pollution or the mail service, but we just fixed mail. So what is wrong with the noise pollution? And wow, that is bad. And it's only getting worse too. As long as I don't see a million icons, I'm not even gonna worry about it. We do have some more commercial demand. So of course, we have to add in a Barnes & Noble. Because there's no way this could be a utopia without books. But not even just books. I only mean Barnes & Noble in specific. And I'm gonna add it to this lot. We're gonna need a road. I wanna pull this back just a little bit. We should have enough room to breathe in between these 2 buildings, but also enough room to make a little bit of parking. And Best Buy is gonna fit perfectly. So we might as well get that in there as well. Now I'm gonna quickly make a little bit of parking. And it's absolutely beautiful. I hate making parking, so I don't even care if there isn't enough concrete or if I wasn't the most optimal with my use of space. Parking is exhausting. But we've officially cracked 5,000 population. We're making $15,000 per hour. So that's pretty good. And all that's left is to fill in some of these blank spaces. And because this hill really isn't that steep, I'm gonna make a few extra connections. And this is gonna become a park. Or even a place for services in the future. For the time being though, it's just gonna be a few wobbly trails and a few trees. Now up here we'll have some low density. Right here we're gonna have a mix of row homes or medium density. And for the rest, I'm just gonna play it by ear. Unfortunately, we don't own enough tiles yet, so this is just gonna have to be disconnected. And speaking of disconnected, this needs to be disconnected as well. We don't own this tile, so we can't be utilizing it. And for the meantime, because we have all of this industrial here, there's really not gonna be many things that we can place. It's either gonna be office or commercial. I'm going to burn through a whole bunch of money and place down some trees. So that leaves us with these 3 here. It's gonna be a very similar story. We're so close to the industrial. What I can see here though, is a bunch of office. And then at the top, let's have a gas station, a bank, and then just a few of these restaurants. And then for the last area, we are making $26,000 per hour. So we might have already hit the point where money isn't a problem, which means I want to have some parks. So let's have a soccer field right there, and right beside it, we're gonna have mini golf, ping pong, along with a few other things that I think are really cool. And beside all of this, we're gonna have the Riverview Apartments. And I want this building to have a little bit of parking. And right, I forgot it needs a connection in the back. That is inconvenient, but it's nothing we can't take care of. That gives us a population of 6,683. We're making $25,000 every hour. The city is completely in the green, and there isn't a single icon. Of course, why do I even speak? Our landfill is full. That's fine though, because we're going to be implementing a way better solution eventually. For the meantime, I can be happy with that. So like I was saying, there isn't a single icon on the map. And the only things that our citizens have to complain about is unreliable internet service, unemployment, and traffic. And I don't know about you, but I don't see any traffic at all. And unemployment is only 7.8%. That's manageable, because to solve it, all I'm going to do is add in a bit of office right here. Okay, maybe a bit of office and a bit of commercial. 4.6%, and that is pretty good. But for today, that is where we're going to end this off. What did you think of the city start? And thanks for starting a new city with me. Big shout out to Jake Hill, Gary Key, Mississippi Mikey, Aiden Fernelski, Henry Vopel, Dylan Barnett, Arlen J, Sinan Ozdemir, Soyen x2, The Poop Sheriff, and to every single one of you amazing people who support the channel. If you'd like to loon harder, you can join us over on Patreon, YouTube, or even urbanloon.com. And other than that, I'll see you in the next one.